Hello guys, this is Will. Welcome to my very first deck profile for the July 2015 format. Featuring my Shaddoll deck. Sorry I'm a little tired right now, but I wanted to make this and show you guys my profile and explain a couple things. So yeah, the main deck side and extra. Starting with this card here. It's not a real card. My friend actually made it. It's a full art secret rare construct. Honestly, oops, sorry. I don't have anything to record with, so I have to do it with my phone, but so you can see it. It's pretty sweet, and it goes really good with my mat. So yeah. Anyways, I don't want to waste any more time. Yeah, we'll explain that in a bit. Okay. Starting with the main deck here. Get my thing to focus. There we go. Alright. So starting off here, we have two beasts. I don't run one because you need the draw power, and I don't run three because it's cloggy. So yeah. 3 Falco. I run 3 Falco because I tune a lot, synchro, and you just need your Shaddolls, and this can just keep bringing stuff back. It's honestly really nice. You can test it at 2. I like it at 3 because it just keeps monsters on the field. So yeah. 3 Hedgehog. I do main the Mistake, but these cards, when Mistake isn't on board, are the best searchers for spells, traps, and monsters. So in my opinion, it's the best. And then 3 Squamata. Run 3 because it gets everything going in the deck. You can pitch this with Mathematician and then pitch Beast, because Mathematician can't actually pitch Beast on its own. So I run 3. Honestly, you could bump it down to 2. It's not that big of a deal. I have it at 3 just because I want lots of Shaddolls in this deck, so it can just keep going. Then I main 2 Dragon. I play against a lot of decks that have back row. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have 2. I'd only have 1. So yeah, that is a 13 Shaddoll lineup. It's pretty heavy, but keeps the Shaddolls going, and I don't ever run out of Shaddolls. 3 Mathematician because it's Foolish Burial, and it gets everything going. I don't think any less than 3 because it's almost always a good draw. It's never really dead, and plus it's you can fuse with Shekanaga. And you can just have this thing sit on the field, and people don't really like destroying it by battle just because you get that extra draw. Then I run the 3 Effect Veilers. Main reason just because, monster negation and stops a lot. You can maybe do 2. I wouldn't recommend it because they're so good, and it honestly goes well with the deck because you can tune it with Construct to make Trishula. I don't actually have Trishula right now, but I still need one. But yeah, you can just use it for Synchro Bait even if you can't use it for monster effects. So just a nice card, and a light in your graveyard for BLS. Speaking of BLS, we run the 1 BLS because it's awesome. Thunder King. Reason why I run one of these is mainly because it's a built-in Mistake, which this deck, it goes great with this deck, and the monster summon negate. It's a light for BLS again, and it has 1900 attack, so it's actually pretty tough. So yeah, one of those. The one Kerpurus, I don't know how to say it. This card is awesome. Goes great with this deck in every way. You can really win games just leaving this in your grave until that one moment you need something to get destroyed, especially like a Floodgate. So yeah, definitely one of these. I wouldn't run 2. I don't think it's limited, but I still wouldn't run 2. So that's it for our monster lineup. That puts us at, let's see, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22 total, I believe. But the effect veilers don't really count because they're hand traps. So moving on to spells. 1 Mind Control. It's a good card. I don't know how I feel about it. Sometimes it's not great, but a lot of the times it's awesome because a lot of the decks I play against are either light, dark, Necroz, water, and I have the water fusion, so it's really easy to steal and then fuse it off. One Foolish for extra pitching to the grave. One Regeki just to have. Honestly, the deck doesn't really need it, but in rare circumstances it does. Soul Charge can either be a really good card or a really bad card. You don't want to open with it really. It just really depends how you're going. It can be a lifesaver and it can also be a dead hand, but I still like it. Book of Moon, because it's just too good. It's just great. There's so many different things it can do. 3 El Shaddoll fusions. I wouldn't ever recommend any less. It's the best fusion. And it's just 3 of them. I main 2 regular Shaddoll fusions. The reason behind that is because not very many decks I play against always go into the extra deck, and having 6 of them gets a little cloggy, and you know, your fusions can usually bring them back. So this is what I've found to be ideal. So yeah, that's it for those spells. Sorry, my finger keeps getting in the way. For traps, 1 Torrential, because all your monsters, pretty much when they go to grave by card effect, Torrential would trigger that, and it's just a great card to have. Vanities, don't really need to explain that. I like it. Ring of Destruction actually has been a really good card for me. Honestly, I'd definitely recommend getting one if you have a Shaddoll deck. It does wonders. It's too good. The 1 Bottomless, because you can stop some really crazy stuff from happening. Shaddoll Core, only 1 Shaddoll Core, and don't recommend 2. It's a great card to have in the deck, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't recommend it at 2. And you can use it for Synchro, Synchro with Falco for Star Eater, because I run Star Eater. 1 Compulse, because you know, you can stop some disgusting stuff. The 2 Mistake, I sided my 3rd, but I main 2, because you know, I usually see it when I need it. I'm gonna adjust this because the light's being weird. Okay, so yeah, I side the 3rd one. Most people, if they run Mistake, they run 3. I just run 2. It gets the job done usually, and I can side a 3rd one if needed. And then 2 Sinister Shadow Games. I might consider bumping it up to 3 because I have so many Shaddolls in this deck, but 2 seems fine for now. Done really well with this deck so far. So that's it for the main lineup. I'll go to the extras. The only reason why this card is in here is just because I was thinking about either this or Castell. Of course, Castell's better because you could detach 2 for its shuffling effect back into the deck. It's awesome. But this can be fused with Shekanaga if needed. And what it does, if you don't know what this card does, and I don't know if it got banned or not. I don't remember. It could have gotten banned. I don't remember if it was on the list. But you detach 1, and then any face-up monsters, I think it's all, let me read. Oh, target one monster I control. So you flip it down, it flips it down like a Book of Moon, but during the end phase it flips it up. So like if you have a monster that already got its effect off and you need it to, you know, do it again, you flip it down and then you flip it back up on the same turn. The reason why it's not that great is because most of the time, once your cards get flipped up and they do their effects, they don't really last too long on the field. You usually do something with them, so I don't know how I feel about it. I just kind of put it there just to test. I do main the Castell because Castell is really good. That's my only XYZ. I don't XYZ summon this deck very often. Mostly just synchros. Samsara. This card is kind of weird, but I like it. It's a level 5, which is really easy to make. Really, really easy to make. And it's great. Its graveyard effect is amazing. It's a monster reborn, and you can literally just sit on this, or you can just attack into something and take whatever you want from either graveyard. So great card, in my opinion. Leo, because level 10, easy to make with Falco and Construct, and Leo's pretty good. I do play a Star Eater for only literally for the core, if I don't have anything I can do with core, because I'll always have Falco on the field. So yeah, 1 Star Eater. Arcanine Magician has to be in this deck. It's just Sevens are really easy to make with this deck. I don't run Felice. I always draw Felice for some reason, so I took it out, and I make sevens in other ways. You know, Beast, Falco, and there's some other stuff. It's pretty easy to make still, and just great card. The pop effect is really good. Goyo, just for my level 6, 2800 attack, so it's pretty good. There are Mateys, another level 5. And that is actually it for my synchros and XYZs. For fusions, I have the 3 constructs. Great card, obviously. It gets things going. It's easy because you have so much light in this deck. Gets over any special summon monster. Really nice card. So yeah, 2 Shekanaga. You don't need 3, and 2's nice to have, and it's really bulky. And great card in my opinion. 1, whatever you, and I don't even want to pronounce that, but it's basically for Necros matchup. Just completely destroys Necros. And if you're versing Necros, you just mind control it, and it's GG. I do run one of these guys, and I don't know why. I just thought it looked cool, and its effect is okay. But you can only make it with Shaddoll Core and F Shaddoll Fusion, or if you're playing against, you know, Brotherhood, Fire Fist, whatever. Like, I'm gonna take this card out for Trish when I get it. And then 2 Winda. Honestly, this card is probably the best. I'd actually recommend it at 3 if I had a 3rd. But I don't, unfortunately. If I did, I would definitely play Winda at 3. It's just too good of a card not to play at 3. And since I'm running a more heavy Shaddoll lineup than normal, Winda is my go-to target. It's the easiest for me to make. So yeah. Lastly, moving on to my weird side deck. It is kind of tailored to what I verse at locals, which happens to be a lot of Satellars, for one. So I play 2 Flying Sea, just because Satellars can't XYZ summon, so they kind of lose. Then 2 Royal Prisons. If anyone knows Satellars, they know that they rely on Call the Haunted, Oasis, Trevere, Del Toros, all that stuff that brings monsters back from the grave, Altair. Like, you have that, and they can't really play once their stuff is dead. So, great card. 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors, again for Satellars. Like, this lineup, this is all I need to shut Satellars down. This will always win me Satellar games. And then whatever other light decks, I mean, there's not really any. My 3rd mistake that I side, I actually think I have 16 in my side deck because one of them's not supposed to be in here. So if someone counts more than 15, disregard one of them. I do side my 3rd Shaddoll Fusion against like Burning Abyss and things that go into the extra deck all the time, and Satellars do as well. So that's for them. I do have 2 Mask of Restrict, I just haven't put it in here yet. It's for Necros because it prevents tribute summoning, which is, or tribute summons I should say, which is almost all ritual summons. 2 Imperial Iron Walls for Masked Heroes, for Necros, and for Infernoids. I actually have 3 Imperial Iron Walls because it shuts them down so hard. 2 Lilas for heavy back row when they side in Shadow Mirrors because Shadow Mirrors are unaffected. Dragons don't work with Shadow Mirrors, and I'm not gonna waste time with MSTs because Shaddolls don't normal summon that often unless it's the Mathematician, because you can do everything from your hand. And honestly, I find that the Lila is better than the MST because you get a light monster for Construct, for BLS, you get something on the field, and you also get to pop, and they can't chain. Well, I mean, they can chain it still, but like, it's mostly for Floodgate cards, so I like having Lilas rather than MSTs. And then last is a Shared Ride. It's like Mistake. I think this was the card that I didn't actually need. There's no point when I have a 3rd Mistake. So yeah, that is it for my side deck. And again, it's tailored to just what I've been playing against, and it's been doing really good for me. So I'm probably gonna take the MSTs out for the Mask of Restricts and stuff. But yeah, that's what everything's looking like here. So thanks for watching the video. If you have any questions about the deck or anything, deck list, if you need anything like that, just let me know, and I'd be happy to help out with that. But yeah, thanks again. And also, if you like the mat, I can put a link in the description where I got it. It was 25 bucks, but honestly, here I'll let you see it a little better. Actually, I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, and I love the mat. Sorry for the unsteady camera. So taking a good look at it, it's got a lot of detail. The only thing I don't like about it is, of course, you know, these little zones, but I couldn't find it without them. And it's a really smooth, it's really thin, but it's really smooth, so it's a nice smooth finish. So yeah, that is my Shaddoll profile, my Pure Shadolls for July 2015. After one point of advice, after lavaval chain got banned, I don't recommend playing Star Seraphs anymore. It's too situational and it's too dependent on luck. I want consistency every time. I want to be able to summon when I need to. I want plays to go off. I don't want to rely on drawing 2 specific cards to make my deck work. So yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Any suggestions and feedback, definitely welcome. I appreciate it, and you guys have a great day. Thanks.